Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining in. My name is Sumit, and I'm co-founder of Truman Capital Services. Truman Capital is a SEBI-registered investment management and advisory tech platform. It's a fee-only investment advisory firm run by professionals from CFA, CFP, and IIT background with more than 15 years of work experience. Since we do not earn from commissions, we provide completely unbiased, professional, and personalized advisory to help you achieve your important life goals comfortably at an affordable advisory cost. Today's topic of our session is how to prepare a free financial and retirement plan. If you have any questions throughout the session, please type that in the chat box and we'll take all of these questions at the end of the presentation. So what are your key learnings gonna be from this session? You would, after the session, understand the importance of financial and retirement plan. What you get when you have gone through a financial planning exercise, and what you miss if you do not go through a financial planning exercise, and how it makes a significant difference in your overall financial future. Next, you will also learn how to create free financial and retirement plans. So why you must have a financial and retirement plan? I would like to begin with a story, a true story of my college time. So I had a friend in college. I don't want to reveal his name. Let me call him Mohit. So Mohit was a good friend, and we used to hang out together and do regular college things. Uh, but only thing was that he used to spend a lot of time in his room, locked up and doing something. So we all know he's doing something inside, but we were not sure what exactly he's doing there. Otherwise, as a person, he was there was nothing extraordinary about him. He was scoring average grades and was having average activities like any of my batchmates. In the last year of my college, when the campus placements begin, he bagged the best job in the entire class. Not the topper, but he got it. And after working for 2 years, he again went to the best B school in India. There also, he bagged the best campus placement job. So as I said, Mohit had nothing extraordinary as a look of it. He was having the same kind of similar intelligence and capability as the rest of my batchmates. But one thing that was very different about Mohit was that he started preparing for all these events of getting a job, getting into B school, much in advance. He probably started working on it when he was in 8th standard. So that probably helped him get an advantage because he started early. He had a plan and he prepared accordingly for all the events like getting a job, getting into a B school. So similarly, as Mohit did well with all these events that came in. Similarly, we also have all many events in our lives like children education, their wedding, our retirement planning, buying a house, buying a car. The problem is that most of us do not start preparing well in advance. We most of the time start preparing for any event just a few years before the event date, maybe 3-5 years before that. For retirement, many of us think that we'll start working on it after when we have crossed 50 years of age. That is the biggest mistake most of us end up doing. So according to a survey conducted by PGIM India Mutual Fund, half of the urban Indians have no retirement plan. So most of the families, they focus more on providing for children future education and marriage, financial security of children, but financial planning comes way down the list. And 26% of the respondents dread the idea of being dependent on children or families in old age. So probably that 26% comes within those people who have already a retirement plan in place. Other revelations that happened that Indians save for retirement primarily in life insurance and fixed deposits, which actually generate very poor returns if you account for inflation. Life insurance investments and FD investments end up making you poor in terms of purchasing power as you progress. Now, many feel retirement is a vague concept. Even if they wanted to plan, they don't know where to start or how much to save. Other revelations which happened from this survey is that those who plan tend to start early. They start at the age of 33 on an average. Those who do not start early, do not plan, they start at the age of, on an average, 51 years. Many Indians are, who plan are confident that their plans will work out, but they fail to also account for any eventualities, any unexpected events which can, destroy their financial planning or make them suffer severely in terms of finances. So that also is required to be done. Other than having a financial plan in place, we also need to be prepared for anything which can go wrong. Many are unaware about how much they need. Many people think that just 7 to 9 times their annual income would be a sufficient retirement fund, or a 50 lakh would be sufficient retirement fund, because a lot of people do not account for inflation in their calculation. Inflation increases the cost significantly. So 50 lakh is nothing. If you are going to retire in next 10 years, 20 years, you probably need 5 to 8 crores at least to retire comfortably if your expenses are more than 50,000 per month. So survey in US also revealed that biggest regret of senior citizens is not saving enough, spending too much on non-essentials, and not investing properly. So let's understand it further through a case study. So we study a lot of our clients' portfolio, and this is what we have got in mix of some of the clients, and we present it here for a case study for you to understand. So there is a family with 2 kids. They are in their mid-30s, both working professionals. The total monthly income for the entire family is rupees 3.5 lakhs. Their expenses are roughly 1.5 lakhs, including EMIs. The outstanding loan is about 35 lakhs at the interest rate of 7.5%. And that is for a second property that they have purchased. The investment goals are retirement, creating a retirement corpus for children education for their marriage. But what amount they need, they are not clear on this. And how to make investment, where to make investment to achieve that target is also not clear to them. They have been paying insurance premium of around 1.2 lakhs per annum. Their PPF contribution is 1.5 lakhs per annum, and PS started 2 years back, amounting to 50,000 per annum. EPF they are putting together of 30,000 per month. The mutual fund SIP is running of about 30,000 per month. Current value stands at 10 lakhs of the entire portfolio. They also investing in direct equities, purchasing directly from trading accounts, where they are spending 15,000 per month, and the value of their stock portfolio is around 7 lakhs. The term plan they purchased just 2 years back for a cover of 1 crore. They are spending 90,000 per annum for 5 years for a coverage period of roughly 25 years in the term plan. Now, the health insurance they have is roughly 10 lakh cover, some insured, the coverage for health insurance, and they are paying 15,000 premium per annum for the same. Contingency fund they have is around 46 lakhs lying in their savings bank account. Any market opportunity fund, basically the fund which you can use when the markets decline significantly and take advantage of lower prices. was not planned. So I would like to ask all of you, given this current financial status of the family, what do you think is not right here? What do you think needs correction? So can you type that if you know the answer, if you find something not right in this entire financial status, please type that in the chat box. Let's see how many of you have understood what's wrong with this financial status of the family. So amount is in bank. Yes, there's a lot of money in bank. Shouldn't be lying there in the bank, generating probably 2% returns after taxes. So investment goal is not clear. Yes. Contingency fund too high. Completely agree. 46 lakh idle in bank. Yes, covered. Term insurance should be more. Okay. So all right. Okay. Target is not clear. How much is required? Yes, exactly. Any other corrections you would like to make in this set of things? So why loan? Okay, yes, if you have money, then why don't you pay back your loan, right? Direct equity investment, agreed. Uh, that is something which is not a forte of an investor who has a full-time job to do elsewhere. Not enough investments in mutual fund. Yes, that is correct. Then LIC policy investments, why if you have term plan, right? So most of the people end up doing LIC policies or ULIP plan, not for the coverage, but for having a child plan, endowment plan, pension plan, or a ULIP plan. So many times, a lot of things are not made clear when the purchase is done by insurance agents. So let's see what we did at TrueMind Capital. So that has been our advice to this family. So monthly income is all right. So monthly expenses, we ask them to prepare a sheet so that they would be able to understand if there are any leakages happening in their expenses, and they can rationalize their overall expenditure so that they can focus more on their savings. So they have an outstanding loan. We said make a part payment of the outstanding loan after you have accounted for contingency fund and having a market opportunity fund. So the reason simply is that we should be focusing on creating assets and avoid liabilities at any cost. Our income, our future is not very certain about what developments will happen economically or personally. In that sense, EMIs definitely are certain. So it's important to pay off your loan as soon as possible. Then investment goal. We evaluated that the priority they should be giving to their financial goals. In that, retirement should come on the top. Simply, you cannot get any loans to fund your retirement, although you can get loans to fund your children education, and there you can have adjusted expenses for marriage. So that can be done, but retirement is something we have to create on our own, and we definitely don't like to be dependent on our children when we retire. So we figured out the retirement purpose requirement is around 10 crores, keeping inflation into account. Then we figured out the children education requirement is roughly 75 lakhs. Again, keeping the inflation into account. So if the children education is costing say 10 lakhs today, maybe after 15 years, 20 years, because of rising inflation, high inflation in education industry, probably the cost would be 75 lakhs. So this is what we figured out after doing all the evaluation. We recommended them to stop paying for any insurance linked investments, top premiums. If you have already paid 3 premiums in ULIP, you can stop right now and redeem after 5 years. Stop the LIC premium payment as soon as possible and make it fully paid up. Fully paid up basically means you do not make further premium payments. The simple rationale behind this is that you should never mix your investment and insurance. When you do that, you end up generating very poor returns. There is a high cost structure of insurance linked investment. So that's why we should never ever invest in any product which has insurance linked to it. For insurance, it's important to have a pure term plan. And for investment, you could either take a pure investment option like mutual fund or FDs or PPF. So PPF contribution of 1.5 lakh, we said it's very good. You can continue. It's one of the best investment option in the debt side. NPS of 50,000. So we asked them to not invest more in NPS and add only 500 per annum to keep the account active. Primary reason that we have with respect to NPS is, your 40% money will be locked in for entire lifetime. That is something which we are not comfortable with. We feel that your money should never be locked in any of the instrument. You should have flexibility to take out money when you need for a certain activity. Many things happen in our life without any warning. So we should have some money, excess of money at that point in time. EPF 30,000 per month, we said continue, because in the current scenario when the debt returns are very poor, EPF is giving you good returns. And maybe we'll change our stance when the debt returns will improve. Mutual fund SIPs were running in regular plans of mutual funds. We suggested them to discontinue and start in direct plans for mutual fund. We also asked them to book some profit because markets are quite expensive currently, and suggested them that they can invest some amount of the proceed in gold fund. Because of rapid money printing, there is a risk of hyperinflation. It may or may not happen, but gold acts as an insurance to your portfolio. On the direct equity side, we recommended to stop their investments in direct equity, start booking profit and gradually reduce the allocation in direct equities. Very simply, if you are someone having a core job elsewhere, you cannot spend a significant amount of time tracking your equity investment. And the markets are also expensive, so it's better to take out money right now. Term plan, many people miss this thing. Term plan of 1 crore, the family is paying 90,000 per annum for 5 years and for a duration of, so they will be covered for 25 years. Now, thing is that they are paying the entire premium in advance within 5 years, whereas the term is of 25 years. So what they are doing within 5 years, they'll be paying a total premium of 4.5 lakhs. We never recommend that you should make any advance payment on your term plan. So given the popularity of term plan nowadays, insurance companies also have come out with many innovative ideas and schemes around term plan, where they have some features where you pay in advance in 5 years, 10 years. So they get their insurance premium much in advance. If something happens to you, say at the 10th, after 10 years, then they already have recovered entire premium from you and you get the same coverage of 1 crore. The claim that you will, the payment for claim that your family will get will be once a year. So even if you have spread it across a term plan, which probably would have come at around 18,000 rupees per annum, if you would have taken a plain vanilla term plan, then for the 10 years, you would have paid up only 1.8 lakhs. In this case, when you're paying in advance, you have paid entire 4.5 lakhs. Whereas the benefit your family gets is 1 crore in both the cases. So that's where, it's important to go with a plain vanilla plan of term insurance. And it's also important to understand that when the payout is happening, so there are different now options for the payout as well. You get the entire money at the time of claim, or you get deferred payment, or you get staggered payment. Always choose the entire amount one time. So that is very important to decide your term plan at the time of purchasing term plan, that you are selecting the right features. Why many of the agents and bank people push for advance insurance premium? Because they make good commissions on your premium amount. So if they are making, say, roughly 30% commission on your premium, then 90,000 will get them roughly 27,000, whereas 18,000 will get them only 5,400. So that's where it's important to understand not to fall in the trap of getting a term plan, which where you have to pay much in advance. A health insurance cover of 10 lakhs, we recommended that for a family should be at least 15 to 20 lakhs. Contingency fund should be about 10 to 12 times of your monthly expenses. So you can park your contingency fund 50% in short-term debt and 50% in bank FDs. So short-term debt mutual funds are reasonably safe liquid investment, and you can take out money at any point in time within a one-day notice without any exit load. So we advise them to park 15 lakhs since their monthly expenses are 1.5 lakhs. So 1.5 into 10, roughly 15 lakhs should be their contingency fund. Their market opportunity fund should be around 10 lakhs to take advantage of market decline. That can also be parked in short-term debt funds. Mutual fund SIPs, so we recommended to increase their mutual fund SIPs to up to 1.8 lakhs per month in order to meet their goals in retirement, creating a retirement corpus and having a children education fund. So the recommendation was made in the mix of equity, debt, and gold, depending on their risk appetite and investment objective. So goal without a plan is just a wish. We have a lot of dreams and aspirations, but unless we plan for it, we won't be in a position to achieve that. So how a financial planning exercise helps you? When you go through a financial planning exercise, it helps you to bring you in right direction and bring order to the financial aspect of your life. So if you are not in the right direction, then it tells you what you need to do to get in the right direction, and also helps you get order in your disorder finances. It shows you what's wrong and what's right with your current financial situation, gives you a mirror image of your current finances. It understands your ability to meet your important life goals comfortably. If you're not in a position to meet your life goals comfortably, then what is needed to be done so that you can meet your life goals in a convenient manner. It helps you prioritize goals and set a roadmap to help you meet your life goals and become wealthy. So it's not necessary that you have to retire at the age of 60 only. You can choose to retire at the age of 50 also. But what you need is to plan for it. If you plan for it from much in advance, then there are high chances that you can retire at 50 and do whatever you feel like doing, follow your hobbies, do certain things which gives you a lot of satisfaction. So this exercise also helps you to invest right based on your risk profile and investment objectives. So how much you need to invest in equity, how much you need to invest in debt, and how much you need to invest in gold, and how you have to modify your allocation as you progress, depending on changing in market situation as well as your personal situation. It also helps you prepare for financial emergencies, helps you understand what insurance you need, how much insurance you need, what is the contingency fund you need, so that if something unexpected happens, then it won't disturb your overall financial planning. So doing well with money has a little to do with how smart you are and a lot to do with how you behave. So said by Morgan Housel, he is a very popular financial blogger and author of a very popular book, Psychology of Money. So what all you need to know in a goal-based financial plan? So first, you need to know the present value of the goals. For example, how much it costs today for children education, how much it costs today to pay for our lifestyle expenses. And next, you need to understand the future value of the cost which you're paying today. So how much it will cost in future when my kid will go to college, how much I will have to spend on monthly basis to maintain the same lifestyle at the time of retirement. because future value will change as we account for inflation impact also. So where to invest it based on my risk appetite is another thing you need to know, because everybody has a different risk appetite. If I have a risk tolerance level of say 30%, 40% decline on my portfolio, it's not that my brother will also have the same kind of risk tolerance level. He may get panicked. He may get panicked at say 10%, 20% only. Even knowing that the markets will recover in the long term, so everybody has a different risk appetite. Depending on your portfolio allocation, we understand what kind of returns you can expect uh, at the current market levels and what returns you can expect as we progress. Then based on your risk appetite, your return expectation, we figure out how much to invest per month if you want to invest through monthly in a systematic manner, or one time, how much you need to invest one time to fund your goals in future. However, there is a one problem many of the people face is that good financial planners charge a lot of money to create a decent financial plan, a comprehensive financial plan. So we have known, even financial planners charging 40 to 50,000 for just a one-time financial plan, which doesn't even include review and monitoring. So that is something we felt is also a problem area. And to sort it out, so how you can create a free goal-based plan, that is something we are going to demonstrate here in this session. This is how you can get a free plan on truemincapital.com. We have been working on building this platform for quite some time, where we have built a tool which helps you to understand how much you need at the time of your retirement, at the time of your children education, their marriage, for buying a house, keeping into account the inflation impact. And after knowing the corpus, where you need to invest, how much you need to invest, that also you will figure out. So let me show you how you can do it. When you type www.truemindcapital.com, and as you scroll down, you will see this tab of Get Free Plan. When you click on it, you reach to this page where a general investment is not linked to any goal. You can just select for making any investment without any goal in mind. And it tells you what should be your allocation given the current market situation. A goal-based planning will cover your children education, marriage, buying a house, buying a car, or any other goal, maybe a world tour also you're planning for. A wealth-based plan will cover if you need say 5 crore, 10 crores in say 10 years or 15 years time, then how much you need to invest on a monthly basis or a one-time basis to achieve this goal of yours. Retirement planning will definitely cover what is the retirement corpus you need at the time of getting retired, and where you need to invest to achieve the target corpus. So let's see in the goal-based planning first. So we can take any of these goals, but let's take child's graduation. Next, whether you want to invest in a one-time basis or on a monthly basis. So since many of us are earning on monthly basis, let's take monthly plan. Our investment horizon for child graduation, let it to be say around 15 years. Expected inflation. So this is the inflation we're talking about in the education sector. Inflation varies according to the goal you are targeting. So education inflation, as per the historical standard, has been very high, 10 to 12%. So we are assuming 10% for another 15 years. Here in the risk appetite, it asks about the maximum volatility you can bear on your portfolio without getting panicked. So higher the volatility you can have on your portfolio, higher would be the return. So if you scroll on the higher volatility, your returns will also increase here. If you go for lower volatility, your returns will reduce. So let's assume that you go for 30% volatility. Present value of gold, so assuming the graduation cost today is around 10 lakhs. And then we click on create. Just have to enter the email ID. So it is a simple free plan that you get for your kids' education. So monthly inputs are we have already taken, and 15 years is the horizon, 30% risk appetite for a child's graduation, 10% inflation, and value of gold in current scenario to be about 10 lakhs. The risk appetite comes out to be moderate. The investment strategy is buy and hold. Investment option is growth. Cost of the goal in future. So what it cost 10 lakhs today, because of 10% inflation, it will cost roughly 42 lakhs to fund your kids' graduation. And the monthly investment that you need to make to achieve the corpus of 42 lakhs is 8,392 only. Here the expected returns we are taking is 12.52%. And the allocation based on your risk appetite would be about 67% in equity and 33% in debt. Further, as we scroll down, we also get to know within equity how much we need to allocate within large cap, multi-cap, mid and small cap. Within debt, how much we need to allocate within small and medium-term debt fund or a long-term debt fund or ultra short-term fund. And it gives you a breakup across the category. So as we scroll down, we also see the longer we have kept our investment, the higher the value has gone exponentially. So we are talking about 15 years horizon here, where we ended up spending 15 lakh, which eventually grown to 42 lakhs. If the investment horizon would have been 20 years. So by investing 20 lakh or 5 lakh more, our value of overall portfolio would have been 82 lakh, which is almost double of what we have it in 15 years. So you can either email a copy to yourself of the plan, or if you want to execute the plan, then you click on this. And on the next screen, you also get the scheme names where you need to make investments in. Although that screen will only appear if you're registered with TrueMind. So here you can modify the schemes, and if you are happy with the entire planning, you can just execute. And if you need any modification, you can also go to my account and you can book an appointment with an advisor and discuss in detail about any other goals or how you should go about your financial plan. Now coming to the retirement planning. So when you click on the retirement plan, assuming you are say 29 years old at present, retirement age 60 years, life expectancy. Now this is something we need to enter based on our family history. So we should always keep it at a higher age. It's not that what you wish, how long you wish to live, but it's about what on an average or the higher level of living has been in your family. So assuming it to be 85 years. So expected inflation pre-retirement, our lifestyle inflation is roughly around 7 to 8%. Even the government numbers are 5%, 6% on consumer inflation index. But we know that our inflation is much higher. And as we have accessed and observed, it is around 7 to 8%. So assuming it to be 7%. Expected inflation post-retirement. So we're talking about after 31 years. So in 31 years, our economy definitely will mature and the pace of growth will reduce, and inflation also is linked to the pace of growth. So that will also come down. So we are assuming a lower inflation rate post-retirement to be around 5%. So monthly general expenses required in current scenario. So the expenses which you think are required to enjoy the same lifestyle which will continue even post-retirement. In the present term, you have to put those expenses here. So assuming it to be say around 50,000 per month. When we get old, obviously medical expenses also increase. And here we have to account for how much we need to allocate for our medical expenses when we retire. So how do you calculate the present value of medical expenses? You can just see how your grandparents, how much they are spending per month on their medical expenses. So assuming it to be around say 5,000 in the present terms. Then next. This is about the amount to be left after death. So if you wish to leave something for your children, for your spouse, other than the home that you're already having, then you can add that amount. I'm choosing it to keep 0 here. Investment mode, either one time or monthly. I'm choosing monthly option here. Now we have again come to the risk appetite, pre-retirement. Before retirement, when we are earning, our risk appetite is usually higher. So keeping it at 30% again. Post-retirement, obviously, since our regular income will stop, we will have to rely on our retirement corpus entirely. So that's where our risk appetite goes down. So I'm choosing 10% risk appetite post-retirement. Now we can create the plan. So here, all the inputs that you entered. Now, a retirement future value. So what you are spending, say 50,000 per month to enjoy the lifestyle you want to enjoy post-retirement, you will have to shell out 4 lakhs at the time of retirement. This is because of the inflation impact on the overall expenses on goods and services cost. So that is something which many people do not account for. Your medical expenses will rise from 5,000 to 40,000 per month at the time of retirement after 31 years. And this chart gives you an idea of how even post-retirement, your expenses because of 5% inflation are going to increase. So at the age of 60, you need 53 lakh in the entire year to meet your regular expenses. And as you grow old and at the age of 85 years, you would be needing roughly 1.8 crores to fund your expenses at the time of retirement when you're 85 years of age. So how much retirement corpus you need to fund your retirement expenses? You need 10.5 crores roughly. And what you need to invest on monthly basis to achieve 10.5 crore at the time of retirement, only 25,500 on a monthly basis. So your total investment over 31 years would be around 95 lakhs, which will increase in value to 10.5 crores. So your expected returns on your investment is assumed to be 12.88%. And post-retirement expected returns are around 7.20%. So again, the breakup within equity and debt on your investment. So 25,500 you need to invest. The breakup you can see within large cap, multi cap, mid cap, and similarly in the debt category. And here also this chart shows the sooner you start, you are in a better position to achieve your target goal. So similarly, you can create more plans, modify, tweak the numbers, and find out what you need at the time of retirement or at the time of meeting any of your financial goals, and the way you need to invest in a systematic manner. So you can also book a one-time free consultation session with our expert advisors to understand it in more detail. Now coming back to the presentation. So what important points you should keep in mind? First, every person is unique with unique circumstances. So that's how the plan is also going to be unique depending on the person. So every person will have a different risk appetite, different financial situation, different likings, different goals. So that's how the plan also has to be tweaked and modified and customized according to the requirement. Uh, we should also not skip the impact of inflation to arrive at a goal. Every goal has a different inflation attached to it. So education goal could be having an inflation of say 10%. Our retirement corpus goal target could have been inflation target of say 7%. And so it varies. So maybe you're buying a house, so we don't expect appreciation, much appreciation in the price of houses. So we can take appreciation of 5% when we are targeting to buy a house. Investment in financial planning is not a one-time activity. So as we progress, a lot of things change in our personal life and overall investment scenario. So we have to tweak, we have to modify and readjust the plan according to the current realities. So it's important that you should regular review, monitor, and rebalance your portfolio to align your portfolio with the current market scenario, with your personal situation. So when the markets are too expensive, it's important not to have a significant allocation in equity. Your allocation in equity market should reduce. When the equity markets are very cheap, then allocation in equity can be increased. So asset allocation is more important than scheme selection. So as I said, equity, how much you keep into equity, how much you keep into debt, is very important to understand depending on market levels and your risk appetite. So that, because that contributes roughly 80 to 85% of your overall portfolio outcome. Whereas scheme selection, which schemes you should select for equity, for debt, contributes 15 to 20% only. So that's why you should pay much more attention in deciding what should be an appropriate asset allocation for you. Sooner you start, better it is for power of compounding to do wonders on your portfolio, as I explained in the chart. If you delay, if you procrastinate, then you are losing out on potential wealth. So it's important that you do not continue to linger on what you need to do, how you need to do. Just give a thought and decide a timeline that within a week I am going to start. Think about it carefully and take an action as soon as possible. Delay causes a lot of financial problems later on. So how Trumind Capital can help? So we provide highly customized investment plans, financial advice and guidance throughout the investment journey. So when we engage, we create a very customized and personalized plan for you. And then we review, monitor as we progress to align your portfolio with the current market scenario and also align with any goal that you are having, any change in personal situation that you are having. We help you prepare for all kinds of financial emergencies, be it adequate insurance coverage, contingency fund, so that your financial plan doesn't get disturbed. And we are in a position to achieve our financial plans, financial goals comfortably. We protect you from committing costly financial mistakes. So costly financial mistakes like investing inappropriately, investing very high in equity when the markets are high, and low when the market, having low equity exposure when the markets are at very low levels. So that mistake most of the people end up doing. They end up investing in insurance-linked investment plans. They end up having funds lying in their savings bank account. They buy insurance which is not appropriate, and they end up paying premium in advance. So a lot of these mistakes people commit, they are very common. So we help them protect from these. We protect our clients from these mistakes and give them the right guidance and direction. Since we are a few only investment advisors, we have aligned interest with you. We work for you, not for commissions. So we advise, not sell. And also to tell you one more thing, I talked about my friend Mohit, who had a wonderful career, who has a wonderful career and who has planned much in advance. He had one more advantage. His father is an IITian. And his father gave him very good guidance and advice to set him in the right direction, so he could prepare and plan for all the events in his life and have a wonderful career. Thank you everyone for your time. TrueMind Capital Services is a SEBI registered investment advisor. So if you need any kind of consultation on your investment planning, on insurance advice, on financial planning, on retirement planning, you can reach out to us on 9999505324. You can email us on connect@truemindcapital.com. You can visit our website www.truemindcapital.com and book a free consultation session with our expert advisors.